me, myself, and I. It's me, myself, and I. Me, myself, and I.
Hello?
Hey!
It's me, myself, and
Oh,
I.
no. Don't tell me this, Mike Petco, one more time. When you call me one more time. I'm too tired for you right now, Mike
Oh,
Petco.
David Yang, come on, Mang.
Why you call me one more time?
Because I always call Chet and he always messes up, and I decided to call you, dude. It's
So you call me on purpose this time. You don't call me on accident, you call me on purpose.
I had to because Chet couldn't answer the phone.
So you call me?
Yeah.
What, am I your new best friend or something? Why you call I'm nobody. I'm no entertainer. You are what do you do the podcast thing? So you doing whatever you do the radio. Why you call me? I don't say nothing. I say I don't like you, and then that's entertaining for you that I don't like you. I don't Mike Petco.
But don't you understand that you're on the Me, Myself, and I podcast? You know, I would normally call Chet. You know,
I don't know these people. I don't know you three. I don't know me. I don't know Mike or yourself or whoever you are. I don't know any of them.
Well, David,
Who
guess
are
what?
you
You're
guys?
part of the show. I know I stumbled upon your phone number because we needed someone, but now you're part of the show.
Oh,
David Yang
okay,
is part
so
of the
I am
show,
now-
man.
I am now employee, so now you pay me.
No. It doesn't work
No.
like that.
No. Okay, so you say you are part of the show.
Well,
You
I
just
would
told
like
me
for
I am
you to
part
be
of the show. So now you owe me so much money because I am now your entertainment. I am for your fans.
Cut him off.
Your
Cut him
fans.
off. Cut him off.
Follow me on Instagram, okay? You think you are the shining moment, but no, this is mine because I am now part of I am the show now, okay?
So
you
it's
call
me-
me on purpose. You need me, sir. You need me, Mike Petco.
So it's me, myself,
Obviously,
and
you called
David.
me for a reason.
So is the show called Me, Myself, and David Yang Mang?
No, it's called David Yang and myself, and also not the Mike Petco.
I love it. Well, sir,
You're
I
good
will.
because I'm gonna have everybody subscribe to my channel, and because now everybody knows that I am the star here, not Mike Petco, because he called me 24/7. He called me at nighttime. He called me when I'm trying to take a shower. I don't like it.
But it's good for the show. You being angry is good for the show, sir.
But sir, you are causing stress on my life because you call me 24/7. I don't like it. And now you're telling me that I don't get money for this. I don't get paid.
I think we
I
will
have
now
kids
because
to
you're.
feed. I have kids that sit on the couch. They're fucking smoking or something or whatever they're doing.
Well, it's
They're eating
420
all my
today,
food.
sir.
I don't care. I don't do that. That's not what I do here.
What do you do,
My
David?
kids, they sit there. They're doing the thing, the whatever you call the devil's lettuce or whatever it's called. I don't do that. You are both a pain in my neck. Do you understand, Mike Petco? This is getting out.
Well, David Yang Mang, is that your name now? Is that what we're gonna call you, David Yang Mang?
Yang, you're calling me Yang Mang? This is now my stage name? Is this what is going on here?
David
Are you
Yang.
going to make me a superstar? Mike Petco, do you have what the white people call clout? Is that what you have?
Well, I just wanted to wish you a happy 420 today. That's all I wanted to do. I know it's been,
Well, that's very sweet of you.
and I miss hearing your voice, and I want
Well,
you to
I
be
mean-
on this show more often.
I mean,
Can you do me a quick
I
favor,
appreciate it.
David?
It's not that great. To be honest, it's not even a great accent, so I don't know why you were saying that, but okay.
Can you just say
Thank you.
Can you just say welcome to the Me, Myself, and I podcast? And here he is, Mike Betancourt.
Welcome to the Me and Mike Self podcast with Mike Petco and some other guy who runs machine.
I'll take it.
And 420 is very entertaining for some reason. And you guys, I hope you have a great show. And I will be waiting for my own podcast very soon.
All right. Thank you, David Yang Mang. I appreciate it, brother.
Okay, bye.
All right. Take care.
Okay, third time's a charm. Don't call me fourth time. Thank you.
Okay. David Yang Mang.
I like him a lot better than that other asshole.
Dude, because Chet doesn't answer. That's why.
And he's mean.
So is David, but he's funny mean.
He's funny mean.
He calls me Mike Petco. And that's good because I could probably get a job at Petco now.
Yeah.
I'm like, don't look it. I have this on air. It's Mike Petco, and they'll be like, hey, wouldn't you like to be the voice of Petco and pick up dog shit?
That's the one thing Petco's really been missing is a voice.
Right?
Yeah.
They need it because Banfield is expensive.
Oh fuck yeah!
I fucking hate taking my dogs there. Did you? Oh, before we get started, I need to talk about Banfield right now. Did you Dude, check this out. This is what really freaking happened, man. I was waiting in line. I showed up early to my dog's appointment, right? And there was one person in front of me, and the lady, the secretary, she was, or I don't know how you address it. The person that worked at Banfield was on the phone. I don't know if they were talking to their friend or whatever it was for about 15, 20 minutes. And then she hung up, and the lady in front of me, she's like, I'm sorry, your appointment already passed up. We're going to have to go to the next one. Sir, can I help you? And I looked at her, and the lady looked at her, and she's like, you were on the phone for 20 minutes. She's like, there's nothing I can do. I was like, I was like, yeah. So, screw Banfield.
Wow.
Yeah. Maybe that's why. But anyways, welcome to the Me, Myself, and I podcast, ladies and gentlemen, MMIkers, episode 47. Un fuerte. I just want to thank David Yang Mang for filling in for Chet. I don't know why Chet. Oh, man,
It's not like he has much to do, right?
Chet has a lot to do, but he just doesn't have the responsibilities. He doesn't organize his thoughts. That's all. And you got to pray for him because, it is 420, and it's also time for the podcast of the day. Yeah. See, thank God. Dude, Corey, I love it when you're in command. I really do. You make life so much easier. You're just flowing through. Even if you mess up, you're like, I already messed up. Let's keep going. I'm checking the volumes. Shut up, Mike. And that's why I love you, Corey. So thank you. The podcast of the day that I highly recommend everyone to listen to today, if you're not stoned or stoned, is The Weed Week. The Weed Week is in-depth. Did I say it right? In depth. There we go. It talks about weed. It talks about the business side. It talks about the legality side. It talks about all that with weed that you needed to know if you want to start a business, or if it's not just, let's just smoke weed, man. It talks about legislations. So I highly recommend subscribing that, and then come back and subscribe to mine. Yeah. So, Corey, I have some unfortunate news, and MMIkers, I have some really unfortunate news. I was supposed to have a very special guest today. He's a comedian. He's been performing comedy for 25 plus years. He goes to Hemp Con. He does all the wonderful weed festivals all over the world. He writes for Sacramento News Review. He is a huge weed advocate. He's been on Comedy Central. Ngaio Bealum was supposed to be sitting right here. And the best thing about all those credits, Corey, he would have loved this studio because he's such a huge comic book nerd too. He knows everything about Green Lantern. And it's very unfortunate because, you know what? The guy had a gig. You got a last minute gig. Got to get paid, brother. Got to get that green to smoke that green. So maybe next year we'll have Ngaio here. So, and I smoked weed once with Ngaio, and that's the first and last time I will ever do that because he smokes a lot of weed, and the weed he had made me go, wow, I didn't know I can actually see my DNA strain. I was like, holy shit, what the hell is this? And it was right before showtime, too. So I was like, first of all, I can't smoke weed before showtime. My brain gets lazy. It really does. I did this, I'll tell you this, Corey and Emma Mikers. I did this show in the Crow's Nest in Santa Cruz, probably like 4 or 5 years ago. And I smoked some good weed right before the show. I was like, oh, it's, Santa Cruz. Let's smoke some weed. And I smoked some weed. And the MC, he went up, did great. Feature act, did phenomenal. Brought his friends, too. He came up from Southern California. He wanted to come up here, and I introduced him to Northern California and everything. And he had a great time. His friends were loving it. He just absolutely destroyed. I'm like, perfect. I'm feeling the juice. I'm like, first of all, when someone does well before me, I get nervous, not because like, oh, fuck this guy. I can't believe this guy is doing better than me. I get nervous, but I also get a sense of, I get amped up. I get happy. I get stoked. I'm like, oh, could you imagine what he's doing right now? Imagine what I can do now. He just broke down the wall, did a phenomenal job. I go up there. I'm stoned. There you go. And the rest is history.
Did it help?
No.
No?
Not at all. Not at all. I have my instincts were off. My timing was off. And then the worst thing was, here's this. There was this girl. She was sitting in the front row. And I forgot what she said, but she threw ice on me. And then she kept throwing ice on me. I'm like, what? And I was being very, I don't know what, it was good weed. I guess I was just being sensitive to whatever was going on. I was like, what are you doing? Why are you throwing ice on me? Like, I instantly got mad. And then she threw a straw. I'm like, you know what? You need to come up here and pick this up. And she started walking on stage, and I thought she was going to, from where she sat, I thought she looked like this skinny, bitchy type girl, if that makes any sense. She just looked, I don't know. She just looked very bitchy to me. Okay. She just looked very bitchy, and but then when she came on stage, she was this nice, voluptuous blonde, and everyone loved her, and I made her pick up the straw and sit back down. So I look like the asshole, First of all, my voice is not soothing, right? So I'm like, come here, pick it up. And, I have this beautiful, voluptuous girl coming up on stage, and I'm putting her on. I'm thinking, I'm analyzing it now, but at the time, it was all reaction. So the crowd instantly made look like I was picking on a woman that was thick, and she was beautiful. When I saw her on stage, I was like, holy shit, she's actually pretty. She is actually beautiful. And then she sat back down, and the crowd didn't like me at all. From there on out, I was like, okay, well, let me just keep going. I made this. It basically looked like I picked on this girl. I looked at the video, and it looked like that I was picking on this girl. And internally, I wasn't. I was just angry that she was throwing stuff on me. And I shouldn't be angry. It's freaking ice. It's water. It's a straw. It's not like she's, stabbing me in the neck or something like that. So that's strike one. And then I started getting into my set, and, I was doing okay. And then this other guy just yelled out Beetlejuice for no reason. Okay, and I'm stoned, and I hear someone say Beetlejuice. I'm like, what? And I kept going. He yelled out Beetlejuice again. I was like, what are you talking about? Why are you saying Beetlejuice? He's like, Beetlejuice. I'm like, do you want me to disappear, or what do you want me to do? I don't get it. And then someone else yelled, you need to leave him alone. Let him say Beetlejuice. And I was like, what the fuck is? It just came falling apart. So basically, 55 minutes later, I didn't do so well.
Holy shit! You're on stage doing a 55-minute.
I had to.
Set?
I had to. I was paid.
That's a lot of comedy.
That's a lot of shitty comedy.
Yeah.
That was a lot of me draining down the toilet just going down and just dying, just completely falling apart. I tried to apologize. I did everything and anything under the sun. Nothing worked. It was so bad when I got off stage. This is what I heard. Oh, God, he's so bad. God, he's so horrible. God, that's the guy. Oh, my God. I did so bad that my feature act's friends wouldn't even say goodbye to me.
Jesus.
Like, he was on his way to leave, and his friends stood by the car, and I was like, "Hey, buddy, hey, great job, man." I told him, I said, "Dude, I'm sorry about what I did, but I will tell the booker that you did an extremely good job. I'll tell him what I did. It's not your fault. You did a wonderful job. You should be very proud." He said this, "Thanks, man," and he had to go, and his friends wouldn't even look at me in my direction. That's how bad I was. That's how bad I sat in my car, and the first thing was, fuck, I should have never smoked weed before stage time. Until this day, I will never smoke weed before stage time. Never. I'm done. I will save that to the very end of the night. Normally, it's 4:20 right now. People, like a lot of comics, if they're podcasting right now, you hear them lighting up and smoking weed and all that stuff. I can't. Nope. It's still, right now I'm podcasting, but it's still a performance. I'm still trying to be funny. Nope. I will never. Oh, man. It is the worst, Corey. It's a horrible feeling, tanking for an hour and just. Ugh.
When you said that, and then you've mentioned, like, it sounds bad enough in general, but when you said 55 minutes, like, is it the number one fear in humans, like public speaking?
Yeah, imagine dying in that number one fear for an hour.
To be in a room of people that actually probably hate you at that moment.
Oh, they despise me. They despised me. They hated me. The booker never had me headline that place ever again. And I understand why. I get it. I 100%. I don't hold any. Here's the great thing about stand-up comedy. This is what I love about comedy. When you do well, you don't say you do well. You said that crowd was on fire. That crowd was amazing. That crowd made me do well. When you suck and you eat shit, that's all your fault. That is 100% your fault. You can never glorify yourself, but you can always beat yourself up. And that's why comics are horrible, depressing people, because we're always beating ourselves up all the time. If we don't do well even off like a little joke. Oh, that joke didn't go so well. It's my fault. And you're crushing the rest of the night, but you're so concerned about one little joke. Well, I had like 100 jokes that night that didn't do so well. But it's all right. Life moves on. I'm still alive, Well,
when you've dealt with that and gone through that, you got to kind of just be fearless after that. Like, just in everyday life.
I wrote so much that night. I had some whiskey that night to wash away the THC. And I just wrote.
I don't think that's how that works, is it? Is that called a crossfade?
For me, it did. I was not stoned at all. I was in my room, drunk, tired. My wife was like, she was sleeping. She was like, "How'd the show go?" I was like, it was my fault. Once she hears that, once my wife hears it was my fault, she knows it was a bad show, but it was also my fault.
Yeah.
But whatever, it's not the weed's fault. The weed was there. It was like, you can smoke me or you don't smoke. My friends gave it to me. It was a great weed, and I should have listened to the feature act. The feature act's like, nah, I'm gonna wait till later. And I took like 3. It wasn't like it wasn't like a bong hit, It wasn't a bong hit. It wasn't me smoking a blunt. I took 4 puffs. Oh, maybe that's why I did puff, 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 pass.
Yeah, it's not the rhythm.
I ruined I just realized that after all these years later. I should have just puff, puff, pass. God damn it. My fault. Oh, whatever. Anyways, speaking of 420, let's talk more about it since it's a wonderful day. I'm glad it's more about weed than it is about Hitler's birthday. Maybe Hitler should have smoked weed. He would have been a lot nicer and happier. because very angry guy that didn't smoke weed. And then also, unfortunately, today is the anniversary of Columbine. You know, that was my first mass shooting I listened to. 1999, 420. Ugh. So thank God for weed. I know I brought the moment down, but you got weed to bring it right back up. But you know, I was reading why they came out with the term 420. I know it's the police officer code of they're smoking weed, but apparently the Grateful Dead back in the 70s started using that term in San Francisco. They're saying, hey, do you want to 420 it right now? 420 it. They're like, yeah, let's 420 it. And okay, here's the thing. I'm not, okay, I like smoking. Do you smoke weed, Corey? Got
no,
it.
not at all.
Got
Never.
Got it.
Yeah, never.
No, you're under a corporation and you're running the VGB studios.
Yeah,
I
of course.
That was a dumb question.
Well, okay, I have, but I never inhaled.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Perfect. You would be a great politician someday. I have, and I never inhaled.
I've never inhaled, but I've been around it.
Why is it such an evil thing?
You know what? That's absolutely. I have no fucking clue.
Why is weed such a horrible, evil thing? It came from the ground. It came from God.
And when you think about it, like every musician you've ever respected, every president,
Right.
except Trump,
Right.
has smoked it.
I don't know why. It's done so much. It's made rope.
It made Cheech and Chong.
It's made of course, Cheech and Chong with rope.
Yeah.
You know, it's helped cancer patients tremendously with the cannabis oil.
Oh yeah.
It's a vast growing business. It will change biodegradable stuff. You won't have to use oil. You won't have to use coal. We could run everything off of hemp and weed. So why is it such a bad thing? And don't tell me it's like a money thing, because if we all go on the weed side, we can make just the amount of money as you did with all this other bullshit on this side. With coal and carbon and fossil fuel. If you went with wind power and weed, you'll make the exact same money. So why are our politicians so adamant on putting people in jail for possession of marijuana? What's so horrible about it? You know what? That's the problem. I think police officers need to start smoking weed. That would change their day. Put your hands up. Nah, fuck it. Let him go. Let him go. Let him go. But he's getting away. Smoke this. So what do you want to do? I don't know. We can go to the donut shop, or we can go to the dispensary. Let's go to the dispensary. Yeah, I think that's what police officers should do. Police officers at the end of each day, at the end of their shift, and granted, oh man, it's such a horrible political. Nah, I don't want to say political. It's such a being a police officer is such a very tumultuous. Is that a word I'm looking for?
Yeah, that's a fair word.
Oh, nice. See, because it was the weed. I didn't smoke yet, but it was me thinking about it. Such a tumultuous job that you get shit on from every single angle. You get shit on from your home. Why are you gone all the time? Because I'm saving you from crazy people. You get shit on at your job. You got to deal with shady cops. You got to deal with shady chiefs and higher ups, and you get shit on from them. So you get shit on from your job. You get shit on from your home. You get shit on at the streets, because as soon as they see you in uniform, they don't they don't say, "Oh my God, it's a police officer. Hello, police officer." They don't. They don't do that. They don't give a wearing that uniform. You're walking through a battlefield every single second. Every single second you have that uniform on and you're patrolling, you're walking through a battlefield. Every time you pull someone over, you don't know if that car is going to blow up. You don't know if someone's going to shoot you. You don't know is this going to be the first and last time I'm going to be alive. You have no, and I get it, ladies and gentlemen. I understand with the police officers shooting people, and I understand. And my heart goes out to every single victim that has been shot and killed by the police officer. And I'm with everyone with Black Lives Matter. I'm with you on that. I'm with you on that. And maybe good cops need to start being vocal about the bad cops that are going through the police department. Maybe they need to start coming out. And maybe they can't because there's so many shitty psychopaths that are running the police department. They might get killed too. You have no idea. No one knows what it's like to be a police officer unless you're a police officer. No one knows. No one knows. What happened with Stephon Clark, I wasn't there. It sounded shady. Unloading 20 bullets on that poor kid. I remember growing up, being a police officer, I was always told, the last line of defense you need to use is your gun. Use everything else. Dogs, pepper spray, handcuffs, baton. That's why they have a baton. Tasers. The last line of defense should be your gun. It shouldn't be the first thing. But I don't know. I can't, I got friends and family that are police officers. They go through so much shit every day. And I'm sure it's wearing them down on everything with what you see on internet and TV about police officers killing people. I have no idea. So, after all that shit that police officers go through on a, 12, 13-hour shift, wouldn't you think they should meditate and smoke some weed? Wouldn't that be a wonderful idea to decompress and go, you know what? You had a hard day. Why don't you meditate for a second? Just 1 second and puff on this. I would be okay with that. Would you? Would you be okay if a police officer was smoking weed?
That'd be cool if anybody smoked some weed.
Just to calm down?
Yeah, no, I think that. I have no problem with that.
I think there's something's got to be a change because it's stupid to just be angry and put this war on drugs against weed. You want war on drugs, maybe you should stop making sugar. You want war on drugs, maybe you should go against KFC. That's more dangerous than smoking weed. KFC is disgusting. It's got MSG. It's got all this addictive stuff to it. It's got so much sugar. It's the worst, unhealthiest food you could possibly imagine. But what are they doing with KFC? They got the commercials. Hey, KFC, buy the KFC. Be the KFC. I'm going to eat some KFC. Right? Shouldn't KFC be worse than weed? I think so. But goddamn, KFC is good. I'm not going to knock it, ladies and gentlemen. I'm knocking it, but I had some KFC yesterday. It's easy. My kids, we had softball practice yesterday, and it was a long day. We got home at 8:30. I'm like, you want to go buy KFC? They're like, yes. I'm like, let's go. And it was delicious. Oh, God, I love KFC. There you go. That should be like in the future, KFC and weed. Buy a new bucket of KFC and get 2 ounces of marijuana. There you go. What's your opinions about legislation and all that BS in between?
I voted for the legalization this last I don't know, when was it, a couple months ago, whenever we had the voting. Okay. And I think it's good. I'm down for it. I think it brings a lot of revenue. I don't know why it was not allowed and alcohol is, which I think. Right. I think alcohol is much, much worse.
Oh, you never heard of a Weed Anonymous group? Yeah. You never heard of that? You never heard of domestic violence caused by weed?
Yeah. In a hypothetical world where, I did smoke maybe some Mary Jane, I would definitely stop drinking. Like it would be like a either or type of thing. Like, I don't know. It doesn't make sense. It sounds terrible either way, because either way you shouldn't need any of those things. But at parties or whatever, there's alcohol around. You drink or whatever. But if that switches over to the weed, I think that would be better in most instances than drinking.
I think so. I mean, you never heard of an angry person that's on weed. You have your angry drunks. You got the ones that cry all the time. I remember I remember a long time ago, I got so drunk, I started crying. I made my friend. I never did that when I was stoned. You know? I've never done that. And it's such a, you don't hide your weed like an addict. Like, I'll be right back. I'm going to go in the bathroom real quick. You got vapes for that. You don't need to hide it anymore.
Yeah.
I love vaping. Vaping's awesome for weed.
Yeah, I think it's a good thing. It's a step in the right direction. And then I don't claim to be a smart man. I don't research all this stuff. But when you see some of those videos that came out, like in the 70s or wherever, where they were like testing marijuana on monkeys and stuff. Did you see any of that?
I've heard of it. I've never seen it.
So
I know what you're talking about.
A study came out saying that, weed is terrible because it killed these monkeys. Like they gave monkeys a bunch of weed and they died.
Well, it's like giving a dog chocolate.
Well, not necessarily.
Well, if you give a dog chocolate, what's going to happen?
Well, what they did later, well, I don't know.
It's going to die. Dogs are not immune to chocolate.
Really?
Yeah, if you give a dog a chocolate, it's going to die. So we're going to stop eating M&Ms?
Well, what they did was they didn't just get the monkey high. What they did was they put like a gas mask on it and pumped a shitload of marijuana smoke in there.
That's probably going to kill me too.
Yeah, exactly. No, they suffocated the damn monkey. And
dude, what a good way to go, though. Corey, thank you for this wonderful time. I really appreciate it. Emma Mikers, thank you so much for listening to me, myself, and I. Don't forget, this podcast is sponsored by Waza Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. You mentioned the Me, Myself, and I podcast. You will get half off the first month of training. And you know what? Enjoy your 420 today. Be safe. Don't be like a monkey and have a gas mask with that. And also, here we go, Corey. You ready? Salsa! 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 Salsa!